TunePocket.com.
As we have studied kidnapping from India, that where one person conveying any other person beyond the limit of India without the consent of that person or some person legally authorized to consent on behalf of that person, it's said to kidnap that person from India. Now we have another topic called kidnapping from lawful guardianship, that is defined under section 361. As you see the marginal note of section 361, kidnapping from lawful guardianship. Of course it is also also a kidnapping, but basically it is from lawful guardianship and not from legal guardianship. So see in that section that whoever takes or entices any minor under 16 years of age if male. So you see the very important term that takes or entices. So either the person taking other person or enticing other person, and that other person is minor. And here in minor we have two bifurcation. Number one, if he is male under 16 years of age, and if she is female under 18 years of age, or any person of unsound mind. So we have three categories of person. Number one, the male who is 16 years of age, the female who is under 18 years of age, and the unsound mind person of any age. You must underline of any age, out of keeping of the lawful guardian of such minor or person of unsound mind. So the person is taking away or enticing the person out of keeping of lawful guardianship of such minor or unsound mind person of any age without the consent of such guardian. So the person has been taken away without the consent of the guardian, as said to kidnap such minor or person from the lawful guardianship. So basically we have four ingredients under this section. Number one, taking or enticing of minor or unsound mind person. Number two, minor must be of 16 years or 18 years. In case of male, it is 16 years. In case of female, it is 18 years. Taking or enticing must be out of keeping of lawful guardianship. The guardian must be a lawful guardian. And taking or enticing must be without the consent of guardian. Taking or enticing must be without the consent of the guardian. So this particular section is designed to protect the minor or unsound mind person from the exploitation or the rights of the guardian privileges having legal charge over their wards. So this particular section has been designed to protect the rights of the guardian or the guardian's privileges having legal charge over their wards, over their children. So therefore only consent of the guardian only takes the case out of the purview of the section. So if the guardian is giving his consent on behalf of the child, on behalf of the unsound mind person, in such a situation the case is taking out of the purview of the section, and therefore the accused would not be responsible for the offense of kidnapping from the lawful guardianship if the guardian is giving consent for taking away or enticing the child or unsound mind person. The point is taking or enticing. What we call taking or enticing, as we have said that taking and enticing is very important word under section 361. Here the takes means causes to go or to escort or to get into position. So if one person causing another person to go, then that means he is taking away the person. Now the prosecution must have to prove that the accused took some active part. What does it mean? The accused has taken an active part in taking away the person. Here the taking need not be by force, whether by actual or by constructive manner. So it may be by any other means, and it is not necessary that it should be by actual force application. Here again, the consent of the child is immaterial. Even though the child is giving his consent to take him away, it is immaterial, and therefore the person would be responsible for the offense of kidnapping from lawful guardianship. Thus, where the accused took a girl child out of the lawful guardianship without or with consent of the child, he has committed the offense of kidnapping under this section. Again, you must keep in mind that even though the child has given her consent or his consent for taking him away without the consent of the guardian, still the accused shall be responsible for the offense of kidnapping from lawful guardianship because the guardian has not given consent to take him or her away. Again, you must keep in mind mental attitude of the minor is immaterial. Even the minor is insane or sane, that is immaterial. The accused cannot plead before the court of law that he or she was willing to go with him. This plea cannot be taken before the court of law. The act of taking will be complete and amount to taking out of lawful guardianship. It must be proved that the accused has played an active part while taking. So this is the crucial part of this particular section. It is the testing of this particular section whether the person has taken him away or not. So it must be proved before the court of law that the accused has played an active part while taking the minor out of the lawful guardianship. Now, the question is what are the factors to be taken into consideration for taking? If suppose the taking has been taken place, then what are the various factors that has to be taken into consideration? The number one factor is the conduct of the parties, particularly of the accused at the time and before going away together. So the conduct of the parties, especially the accused person, what he was doing at the time of taking away the minor girl or the minor child and before taking him or her away, that has to be taken into consideration. Number two, the maturity of the girl, the maturity of the child, her intellectual capacity to think for herself and to make up her own mind whether to go with the person or not, that has also been taken into consideration. The maturity of the girl should also be taken into consideration. And point number 3, circumstances under which she felt necessary to leave her guardian's protection, that also has to be taken into consideration, that why she has taken a decision to go with the accused person along with out of her own consent, that has to be taken into consideration. Again, one question may come into your mind that what is the distinction between the taking and allowing, whether taking and allowing both are same or different. We have a very leading judgment on this point, that is Vardarajan versus State of Madras, decided by the Supreme Court of India in the year 1965. In this case, she left her father's protection, knowing and having capacity to know. What does it mean? Her mental capacity allowed her to go with the accused. So what she was doing voluntarily, Supreme Court observed that once she left her guardian's home, then one must see the distinction between the taking and allowing, and whether the minor has accompanied the person by her own consent or whether the accused person has played some active part. The Supreme Court held accused not to have taken her away from keeping of her lawful guardianship. Now, something more has to be shown before the court of law. For example, some kind of inducement, some kind of threat, or some kind of force given by the accused to the girl, and thereby she have consented to go with the accused, but it could not be shown before the court of law, and there was no active participation on the part of the accused, and therefore it cannot be called as taking, rather it shall be called as allowing. The another important term has been used under section 361, that is enticing. Whoever entices any minor under 16 years of age. So what does it mean? What we call enticing? Enticing is inducing a minor to go on her own accord with the kidnapper. So if the minor has been induced by the kidnapper to go on her own accord, then it is called enticing. Enticing involves an idea of inducement, an idea of promise, an idea of offer by the kidnapper to the minor girl or to the minor child by exciting hope or desire in other form. If there is exciting hope given by the accused person, if there is inducement, if there is promise, if there is offer given by the accused to the minor, then it is called enticing to the minor, and therefore the accused shall be responsible for the offense of kidnapping from lawful guardianship. But if the minor leaves the home of her father without influence by any offer, promise, or inducement, then the accused cannot be held responsible for the offense of kidnapping from the lawful guardianship. What does it mean? The accused has not played any active role. He has not induced, he has not promised, he has not given any offer to the minor, and therefore he shall not be responsible for the offense of kidnapping from the lawful guardianship. Let us take an example. Suppose a girl of 17 years of age, she is studying in in BLLB course. She was living under the care and protection of her parents. She was having a criminal intimacy with the shopkeeper running a shop near to her house. One day, what happened? She went to the shop and asked to the shopkeeper to take her away permanently. Now, the active part has been played by the girl. She asked the shopkeeper to take her away permanently. The shopkeeper took her away to the several places. To the several places. So, no prior inducement was given by the accused to leave her home. Girl was of 17 years old, a student of BLLB, and thus mature enough to think about her future. She was the student of graduation. She was mature enough to think about her future. She was having criminal intimacy with the shopkeeper, and no active part was played by the shopkeeper, and therefore there cannot be any offense of kidnapping from the lawful guardianship. The point is, when taking is complete, when we call now the taking has been completed, the offense of kidnapping is complete when minor actually taken from lawful guardianship. When it completed, one cannot say with the certainty. For example, the Ramu, the accused person, kidnap a girl called G and gives her to C, or the Syamu, and when Syamu accepts her, not knowing that the Ramu had kidnapped her, and therefore Ramu is guilty of kidnapping, and Syamu shall not be responsible for the offense of kidnapping from the lawful guardianship. Kidnapping is not a continuing offense. You must keep in mind that kidnapping is not a continuing offense, rather, abduction is the continuing offense. Unless she returned to his home, it is very difficult to establish that when offense of kidnapping is completed. But as soon as when the person of minor is transferred, when the person, underline it, when the person of the minor is transferred from guardian to kidnapper or into the custody of the accused, it is called kidnapping from the lawful guardianship. So subsequent taking would not amount to kidnapping. The person who is subsequently taking the person of the minor would not amount to a kidnapper, because the kidnapper is not amount to lawful guardian. The subsequent person, the Syamu, would not amount to the lawful guardian of the minor, and therefore it cannot amount to an offense under this section. The point is, we have another ingredients, that any person of unsound mind and the minor. So here the minor is defined that in case of male it is of 16 years of age, and in case of female it is 18 years of age. And if the minor is above, if male and above the age of 16 years, then it cannot amount to kidnapping under section 361 of the Indian Penal Code. The point is what we call unsoundness of mind under this particular section. Unsoundness of mind a person should be because of natural reasons. You must underline it. You must keep in mind that unsoundness of mind of person should be because of natural reason and not because of temporary or instantly. For example, due to alcoholic excessive or such other reasons. For example, someone taken excessive alcohol, then it cannot amount to unsoundness of mind under this section. Although you might have studied under the Indian Contract Act 1872 section 12 that the person is usually unsound but occasionally sound may make a contract, but this particular provision would not be applicable here. Here the unsoundness of mind should be a permanent or natural unsoundness of mind and not temporary. So where a minor kidnapped is a girl under prescribed statutory period, it is no defense that the accused did not know the girl to be under 18 years of age, or from the appearance he thought she is old enough to accord her consent. So, even though from the appearance she is looking above the age of 18 years, it cannot be a defense before the court of law on the part of the accused that she appears to be above the age of 18 years and therefore she is capable enough to accord her consent, and therefore it cannot be offense of kidnapping. No, it cannot be a defense before the court of law, as we have a case called Queen versus Prince that was decided in the year 1875. The House of Lords decided this particular case by 5-1 majority and upheld the conviction of the accused. The accused carried away the girl out of possession of her lawful guardian without the consent of her father, and it was held that it is no defense that the accused bona fidely believed that she is above the age of 16 years. It was intention of the legislature to punish those who have a criminal connection with the young girls. That was decided by the House of Lords in the year 1875. Another important ingredient of this particular section is he taken away or entices out of keeping of lawful guardianship. Now, what does it mean? What is the meaning of this phrase out of keeping of lawful guardianship? So, keeping means within the protection of guardian. The child, the minor, the unsound mind person is within the protection of the guardian. Minor is said to be within the keeping of the guardian when he depends upon him for his or her maintenance and support. For example, he is going to school, that his care and protection has been taken by the guardian. His school fees has been given by the guardian. Again, the physical possession is not necessary that the minor should be in the physical possession of the guardian. No, it is not a mandatory requirement. It should be sufficient that if he would be under the continuous control. If the child is under the continuous control of the guardian, then it shall be deemed that he is under the keeping of the lawful guardianship. No need of physical possession. For example, if the minor goes out, the minor goes to the playground, the minor goes to the street, or the minor goes to the school without the knowledge of his or her guardian, still it shall be called as he is or she is under the possession of his or her guardian. This shall be deemed that she is or he is under the possession of his or her guardian. We have another aspect of this particular provision is voluntary abandoned the control of guardian on account of ill treatment. That what will happen if the girl or the child has abandoned his father or the guardian's home on out of account of ill treatment, then what would be the situation? For example, X, the person meets a girl in a park, aged about 15 years of age. She tells that she is 19 years old and she is ill treated by her father, and she would be happy to taken away from home. Therefore, A takes away to her to his house and she remain there. So, X will not be liable for the offense of kidnapping from the lawful guardianship because there is no inducement, no threat, no force, and no active participation on the part of the accused. Instead, she voluntarily abandoned the house of her father out of ill treatment. So, therefore, the accused shall not be responsible. We have important judgment on this point that we have already studied. Varadarajan versus State of Madras, decided by the Supreme Court of India in the year 1965, that she was a student, she was a graduate student. The appellant was the neighbor, he became the friend, and therefore both became the friend of each other. She left her father's house and telephoned the accused to meet her in his car at certain place. The accused took her to the certain places and then to register office. Both remained husband and wife, and no evidence that any force or inducement was used by the accused against the girl. She was the minor below the age of 18 years, but the matter went before the court, the trial court and the high court. The trial court and the high court convicted the accused, but the Supreme Court of India allowed the appeal and makes a difference between the taking and allowing. The two words are not synonymous, and therefore the accused was not held responsible for the offense of kidnapping from the lawful guardianship. Again, the point here is use, that is lawful guardianship. It is not legal guardian. The term legal guardian has not been used under section 361. Rather, the lawful guardianship has been used under section 361. We must keep in mind that there is difference between the lawful guardian and legal guardian. A guardian may be lawful without being legal. What does it mean? The phrase a guardian may be lawful without being legal. Lawful guardian is one to whom the care and protection of the child lawfully entrusted by the operation of law or by the court of law. If the care and protection of the child is lawfully entrusted, then that guardian is called the lawful guardian. So, under this section, the guardian must be a lawful guardian and need not be a legal guardian. Legal guardian here means the natural guardian, the father, the mother, they are the natural guardian. Let us take an example. The father of the child sent his child to the school with the servant. Here, the servant is the lawful guardian without prejudice the rights and possession of her legal guardian. The child is still said to be in possession of her father. So, even the servant can be a lawful guardian, or if someone is living in the hostel, the warden, the provost may be called as lawful guardian. Let us take another example. Suppose a girl about 17 years of age was in love with the accused, a widower, who wanted to marry her. Her mother was agreed to the accused's proposal, but her father didn't like that his daughter getting married with a widower. One day, what happened? Her father gone on a tour for 4 days. Accused took her away without her mother's consent so that they could get married on another place. The court held she was still in her father's keeping, although he was on the tour, and father is the lawful guardian, although father is away from home, and the accused was held liable for the offense of kidnapping from lawful guardianship. Among the Hindus, father is the guardian of his children and ordinarily entitled their custody. This rule apply in legitimate child. If the mother is allowing the child to get her married, then the mother will be held liable for the offense. So in case of legitimate child, the father is the lawful guardian until attains the puberty, and in case of illegitimate child, the mother is the lawful guardian. What about the case of minor married girl? In case of minor married girl, her husband is her lawful guardian provided the husband is not a minor. If the husband is major and the wife is minor, then the husband shall be the lawful guardian of the minor married girl. If the father is taking her away from the husband house, then in such a situation the father will be held liable for the offense of kidnapping from the lawful guardianship. So this is all about kidnapping from lawful guardianship as defined under section 361. One thing is left, that is explanation. The words lawful guardian in this section includes any person lawfully entrusted with the care and custody of such minor or other person. We have exception attached to section 361. This section does not extend to the act of any person who is in good faith believes himself to the father of the illegitimate child, or who in good faith believes himself to be to be entitled to lawful custody of such child, unless such act is committed for an immoral or unlawful purposes. So in this particular section, the person will not be responsible for the offense of kidnapping from lawful guardianship if he believes in good faith that he is the father of the illegitimate child, or he believes that he is entitled for the lawful custody of the child. Then in such a situation he shall not be responsible for the offense of kidnapping from the lawful guardianship. This is all about kidnapping from lawful guardianship as defined under section 361. Thank you very much.